How we doing, sports fans? Ghost Picks team Justin here. Finally back on track. Had a phenomenal day yesterday. We swept the board with our NHL. We won our only play in MLB, and I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel good to finally have a really positive day. Yesterday, we had a couple big plays. We took the Dodgers on the run line. Um, and it was closer than I expected. It was 2-0 going into the bottom of the eighth, and then they just blew the doors off. They put in 6 runs. Sorry if you were on the under in that game. Looked like it was about to smash, and then they had just an absolute bashing going into the bottom of the eighth, and that ended up being an 8-0 game, comfortable winner, and I was very thankful for that. Going into the NHL, we started off. We took Edmonton money line versus Winnipeg. Like I said, Winnipeg's banged up right now. Hellebuck wasn't playing his best hockey going into the game. He didn't look bad. I will say that's good news for Winnipeg. As playoff time comes around, they're going to get healthy, and I think that their style is going to benefit them come playoff time. And it's just important that they get Ehlers back, Lowry back, and then Hellebuck finds his form, and I think they'll be just fine. But Edmonton has had their number all year. I'll give them that. I think that's 7-2 this year versus Winnipeg, which is going to more than likely be the first round matchup in the North between those two as a 2 or 3 seed. It's going to be something really exciting to watch and to see how that series is going to morph into playoff hockey and whether or not the I'd say the pretty playing of Edmonton is going to go ahead and if it's going to be able to translate into playoff hockey, or if that really physical game is going to go ahead and kind of give them some trouble. I'll be really looking forward to watching that in the first round. But like I said, we took Edmonton money line. They had a 3-1 win. They got an empty netter late. It was a pretty close game. Most of the damage was done in the first 2 periods, and then kind of was just kind of biting your nails. Second play we had was Minnesota Wild versus St. Louis Blues. I really wasn't sure how Minnesota was going to play, if they were going to come out and actually put a lot of effort out there. They're kind of locked into that 3 seed right now. I think the 2 and 1 are kind of out of reach. I'd say maybe not out of reach, but it's more than likely they're going to get the 3 seed. St. Louis coming in, I knew they had a lot to play for. They really want that 4th seed. Arizona's kind of fallen off. But I do think that Minnesota is a superior team. I just wasn't sure if they were going to be in there and give it their all. But I was comfortable that they were going to try to score some goals and that they were going to go ahead and hit the over in this game. First period, it was a lot of chances, no goals. It made me nervous. It was end-to-end action, and Minnesota was really dominating everything about it. And then it was 1-0. I wasn't feeling too good about my play. And then the second period, it really opened things up. Minnesota got had a 3-1 lead. St. Louis had a power play goal, and then little physical play at the end there. Going into the third, St. Louis really was pushing hard. They knew they needed the win, and I would say Minnesota kind of backed down. Talbot he was looking really strong going through 2, and then kind of let in some goals. They were quality chances, but they're usually saves that he makes. So something to watch going forward. St. Louis ended up getting the win 4-3 in regulation, which was surprising. They kind of put on a show in the third. Minnesota really let that one slip away. But it's something to watch today. Like I said, Minnesota, they dominated almost that entire game, and it just goes to show that you need to play 60 minutes in the NHL. But we did get the win. We got the over, which was nice. And then our free play hit as well. We also took Vegas versus Colorado, and it was a really good game. Like I said before, Dubnyk he's an issue out there. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look comfortable. I'll be curious to see what their workload comes back once Grubauer's back. But right now, I don't think you can trust Dubnyk in net. He is letting in some questionable goals. Don't get me wrong. Vegas had a couple pretty ones there. But it wasn't the best hockey that I've seen out of Dubnyk. And Colorado, they need to score more goals if they're going to win games. Obviously, that's a pretty cliche thing to say. However, Colorado is a team that can consistently put up 4 or 5 goals a night, and I feel like that's what they need to win games. They're not able to win these close games where it's 3-2, and if they're not scoring more than 2 goals, they're having a tough time because they play pretty good defense, but their defensemen are very offensive players. You look at them, and I just feel like they need to go ahead and they need to put up a lot of points. They're kind of like, I'd say, I don't want to compare them to the Chiefs, but I feel like they're kind of like the Chiefs in a way where like they need to put up points. They need to score a lot of points. They're not going to win these games with their defense. And that's another thing that's going to be interesting to watch come playoff time. And I think that it's going to get really exciting and really fast here. I'm hoping that we can kind of stay ahead of the power curve on what these teams are going to do. Once they go ahead and they start resting for playoffs. But it's going to be interesting to watch. Like I said, Team Justin had a really good day yesterday, and I'm excited for everybody that was on the plays. Free play today, I'm going to go ahead and take the Boston Bruins versus the Buffalo Sabers, and we're going to go with the over. It's kind of a risky play the way that Swayman's been playing. He's been lights out. I just feel like last time they played, Boston got beat by Buffalo. I think they're going to be looking to have an explosion of goals. Rangers are right on their heels. Boston definitely needs to win this game, and there's no money there in taking Boston. Even puck line is juiced to the max. But I do feel like they're going to have an explosion of goals. And Buffalo's been playing free. I think they're going to go ahead and get some goals as well. I could see maybe a 4-3, maybe 4-2 game. And the over is right there at 5.5. I like it at even money. So that's my free play for you guys. Hope we get this free play run and keep going. I hope we get this NHL going and keep this MLB up strong. And we're going to have another solid week here at Team Justin. Good luck, God bless, grind on, and let's go.